สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. We'll start with our first participant, which is Felicia Chan from Malaysia. Felicia.
Ajaan, my progress is good. I don't have question at the moment. I want to say goodbye to you. I will go back to Lumpur Uthai Monastery this Saturday. I will see you after a month.
Okay. Enjoy your practice.
Thank you.
Enjoy your peace and solitude.
Yeah. Thank you for your guidance.
Okay. Keep up the good work.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I'll go to Jordan now in Bangkok. Jordan.
Good evening, Ajaan.
Where were you last week?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I really hate to miss these meetings. I was helping a friend who was having a difficult time. I was able to listen to the talk, the recorded talk, a couple times. So
yeah, you can be easily distracted by people and things if you're not careful.
it's true. It's true. But I find that that I'm less and less interested in I don't know, in finding happiness from the worldly things. I find that I'm more interested in that I'm getting more happiness from Dhamma related activities. Yeah.
Yes, but the most beneficial is the Dhamma activity itself.
I find that I'm actually more drawn to Dhamma related activities than anything else these days, and just you know, I'm not so interested in seeking entertainment or going out or anything like that. So
Good.
It's good.
Have you got any question tonight?
I don't have a question tonight, Ajaan. But I'm taking the 8 precepts again for the whole week, and it feels like the right thing to do.
You find it difficult to keep it?
I don't find it very difficult, but I think I don't think I can keep them all the time right now. But I'm moving towards that. But I think I can keep them, for a week, and then I can switch back to the 5 precepts the next week, and then switch and keep doing that and see. And then eventually I'd like to just keep the 8 precepts all the time.
Yes. The more precepts you keep, the better, because you are restraining your defilements, restraining your cravings by keeping the precepts.
I can see how it's necessary.
because it helps restrain your cravings. So you will have less hindrance by keeping the 8 precepts than not keeping the 8 precepts.
I really want to be only spending time with people who are keeping the precepts as well.
That's right. Because then it will be easier because you'll be doing the same thing.
Right.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay. No, that's all. Thank you very much, Ajaan.
Okay. Try, just keep trying as much as you can.
Okay, I will.
Okay, I'll go to Mike Sheffield from New York first. Mike.
Thank you, Ajaan. It's nice to see you this morning. Thank you for taking time out with me. When I woke up this morning, I thought of my meditation yesterday, and I had, been reading a lot of on Buddhism over the weekend and listening to Dharma talks and meditating. And then I had this meditation yesterday where my cat was, scratching the furniture midway through meditation, and it still made me angry. So I could still feel this klesha, I could still feel this hindrance within me. So I guess, my first question today would be, how do we, free ourselves from these just agitated responses when we feel like we're really trying to live the Dhamma, but we still get upset by these minor inconveniences.
Because you're still attached to things, and you want things that you're attached to remain in good condition. So when it doesn't remain in good condition, you get angry or you get saddened or disappointed. So try not to be attached. Try to remind yourself of anicca, impermanent things. Everything is have this impermanent nature in them. They can change at any time, any day. So expect them to get bad, then you won't be disappointed. You forgot about anicca, impermanent, anicca, so you get dukkha. If you remember anicca, then you won't get dukkha, because then you can accept the changing nature of things. And they are anatta, they're not under your control. You cannot keep them in perfect shape all the time, perfect condition all the time. They will change, they will deteriorate, and maybe they even might be lost from you. So this is something you have to learn to teach your mind to treat everything that you possess, that they are temporary possession, really. And they can change and they can break down anytime or disappear. So if you have this attitude towards things, then you won't get angry or sad when things happen to them. Get it?
Thank you, Ajaan. Definitely, it's some impermanence. Of course, it's something I should always keep in mind. I guess just for a little follow-up, the last question is that I know you studied under Mahabua, and I was just curious if there was any suttas in particular that Mahabua would stress in his teachings to you when you became his pupil.
Well, he didn't actually mention the suttas, but the content usually from the Noble Eightfold Path, which is the first discourse. And then he also mentioned a lot about the four foundation of mindfulness. Yeah. So this is basically the practical suttas that you should learn. And another two are the fire discourse. It's called the Adita Baliyaya Sutta. Adita Baliyaya Sutta. This is talking about fire. that everything, the five sensual objects are like fire. When you come in contact with them, they will ignite into fire in your heart, make your heart become heated with love, hate, and delusion. And another one is the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, which is the no self discourse. The Buddha taught about the five khandhas as being anatta, no self in the body, in feeling, in perception, in memory, in thoughts, and consciousness. So these are basically the teaching, the sutta that is used in his teaching. But he didn't actually quote them or mention the name of the sutta, but it's the content that comes from this sutta that he talked about.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. All right. Go to work today?
Mm-hmm. Right
Okay.
after that.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'll go to Professor Ken now from Switzerland. Professor, you teaching today also?
Good afternoon, Ajaan. No, I'm free today. I always try to keep this time free for this teaching session.
You got any question then?
Not really a question, but I just want to follow up on what Jordan was talking about the 8 precepts. I also now try to keep the 8 precepts my day off. That's usually on a Sunday here. And I find it very supportive. It frees up a lot of time and it provides a lot of focus. So I'm either at home or I go to the monastery on that day and keep the 8 precepts. So I find it very, very helpful as well.
That's right. Once you keep the precept, you know, you don't have to worry about entertainment or or enjoyment from eating or drinking.
Yeah, it's very striking actually how much time is freed up by not being distracted, just putting the smartphone to the side. And
I think we spend most of our time for entertainment, for sensual pleasure.
Yeah.
So we don't have time for meditation.
Yeah, for me, it's useful to see the contrast. One day not keeping 8 precepts and the next day keeping them, and just being really struck by how much time is wasted otherwise. So it's
a good insight, good insight.
Yeah, yeah. When the hand is twitching to go for the smartphone all the time, things like that. So it's a very, very helpful exercise.
Yeah, the more you keep, the better. You free you with more time to practice, to study, to practice.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No questions, just a brief report. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Go
Thank
to
you,
Kok Seng next, Singapore. Kok Seng.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajaan. Last Tuesday I was sick and therefore I was unable to join the meeting as I slept very early, immediately after dinner. Yeah. No questions at the moment, Ajaan.
Okay, I'll go to Toronto. To Trevor. Hi, Trevor. How are you?
Good evening, Ajaan. I'm fine, thank you. I was sick yesterday, but I feel better today. And it's good to see Jordan looking so well, and it's reassuring to see his progress. I'm struggling with my meditation. I'm still working, so I do a meditation in the morning and then come home, and it's hard to do it at night. But I'm not going to give up. I've been reading Mei Chi's story, and before that, another monk,
Ajaan Kao.
Ajaan Kao, and I had a question relating to them, and that is, do you still have monks who wander? I think they call it the Dutanga monks in
Yes,
Thailand today.
yes, they still do. They usually go in the forest in the northern part of Thailand or the western part, where there's still some forest around.
And they just walk around and sleep in
Yes,
the forest.
they have a mobile tent with them, which is composed of an umbrella and a mosquito net, which you can hang around the umbrella, and you can then sit, meditate under the umbrella and sleep under the umbrella. And
then
in the morning, you go and collect food to a nearby village to collect food.
Okay. And people just give food when they see the monk coming.
Yes, they know it's a tradition for monks to come and collect food. If they don't want to practice any charity, they can then offer food to the monks. But it's not mandatory that they have to give. It's up to each individual's preference.
Do monks? Is that an unusual thing these days to be a Dutanga monk, or is that just they do that for a period of time, or is that?
Yes, it's dependent on each individual's need, how much time they want to do this Dutanga practice. Because when you are on Dutanga practice, you are almost free from all other activities or work. If you stay in the temple, sometimes you have to do work in the temple. So, but when you are on Dutanga, all you have to do is meditate, practice meditation, and you have a better, quiet surrounding to practice.
And a lot of, I guess they do a lot of walking meditation.
Yes, that also you walking meditate. When you change from one location to the next, then you do walking. But you might not have to walk every day. You might find a location you find it's good for your practice, then you might stay for a while. And later on, when you feel it no longer serve your purpose, then you move on to the next location. One of the reasons why monks keep moving around different locations is because when they're in a place long enough, they become used to the place, and then they're not as alert, not as mindful, because they already know things, the surrounding. But when you go to a new place, you don't know the surroundings, so you don't know what type of danger might be awaiting for you. So you have to become more alert and more mindful. This is the purpose. Yeah, this is one of the purpose of.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is one of the purpose of going to Tanka, going in the forest, to raise your mindfulness, your alertness. Because when you stay in a safe place, a place you're used to, then you don't need to have to be mindful as much.
Don't want to get too comfortable in one spot.
That's right, and it also teaches you the impermanent nature of your life, your body also. That your body could be cut short anytime. So it teaches you to learn to let go of your attachment to your body.
Are there still dangerous animals in the forests in Thailand?
Well, there's still some tigers and snakes and maybe smaller cat, wild cat. I've never been on a Tudongka myself, so I cannot really truly tell you about it. I was fortunate that I was able to practice in the monastery, which is semi-forested and has some snakes and things like that, animal like that. So I didn't feel the need to go on a Dutanga, because I was doing pretty good with my practice already.
Well, it's certainly a.
You can
I-
try find a monk that goes on the Tanga, and you can accompany him also.
If they let you.
Sometimes monk has a lay person to go with them, because sometimes they might not find a village to go collect food, so they might have to cook. So monks cannot cook food, so they might have to let a layman do the cooking for him. Maybe simple food, nothing elaborate. Some rice or something like that.
Wow. Okay. That's quite amazing, and these are great stories to read, and very inspiring, and I look at the people on the street in the city, and I'm thinking that these people, they have no homes. They're lying on the pavement and eating whatever they can find, and people give them food and money, and it seems to me that they are further along the path really than the rest of us living in our comfortable apartments with soft beds and whatnot, and there they are sitting all day. I think they might be closer to liberation than we are, than the working people that pass by them and walk over them every day. They remind me of the Dhutanga monks.
In a way, but I think there's the difference mentally, though. Physically, they might be the same, but mentally, they might be worlds apart.
Yes, you're probably right.
Mentally, they're still hoping to get a better life for them, like getting more money, getting a job, or something like that.
Yes.
But with monks, we're not going after any more worldly possession. We're going after the mental, the spiritual possession. So it's a
Yes.
different in the attitude.
Yes, I think you're right. Some of them have given up, I think, the ever wanting a house or a room or anything like that. But thank you, Pratana Ajaan. I won't take up more of your time, and I'll just listen to the rest of it. I have to put my headphones on and leave the apartment soon, but I'm still here and I'm listening. So thank you very much for being here with us again today.
Where did you get the books? Are they hard copies or are they digital?
They're hard copies. Jordan left me quite a library of books. I'm going to need more soon. I don't know what I'll do at that point, but I'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Okay, good. All right. Enjoy your day. Okay.
Thank you very much. You too. Your
All right.
evening.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go to Peru now, to Celia. Celia, how are you doing today?
Good evening, Prajan. I'm doing fine. Happy to be here and listen to the discussions. I do have one question with respect to what you were speaking with Trevor. The Dhutanga practices should be done just when you're getting very comfortable with your practice, or it's something that you can do along with your practice and it will be helpful for them?
Usually, this is for more advanced practitioners. At the start, you're usually required to stay with your teacher for 5 years to learn all the basic skills of meditation, to be able to at least control your mind when you're under certain situation, some difficult situations. You're not allowed to go as soon as you ordain. You have to be with a teacher for at least 5 years, and the teacher will decide whether you're ready for the Dhutanga practice or not. And usually when you first start, you usually have to be accompanied by a chaperone monk, somebody senior monk who have experience in Dhutanga, to show you the rope, to show you the where to go and what to do, so forth. You know, you just can't just go off on your own and just decide to go on a Dhutanga.
So it depends a lot on your teacher.
Yeah.
And you can go into Tanga forever, like you can decide to be like a hermit. Like
Yeah,
it's
if
not
you like
relevant for
to.
practice.
Some monks just decide not to settle. They just keep moving around. Because if they settle for a while, then people will come and offer him to build a monastery, and there'll be more people coming to study and with him. Some monk just doesn't want to be burdened with this responsibility. They just want to be alone.
Interesting. Okay, only that, Rajan. Thank you very much.
All right.
Be well.
Thank you. Ubeka, Alfredo from Sao Paulo.
Hi, Bante.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Dhamma life.
Dhamma life. Okay, good
Yes.
life.
Yes.
If you have Ubeka, you have happiness. Yeah.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Upeka is more in my mind than in my heart, Bante. I need Upeka in my heart. Automatically.
You need mindfulness to have Ubeka in your heart.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, you have to stop thinking.
Yes. It's good, Bante. It's good.
Okay, any question? And anything you want to say?
No, no. It's normal, né, Bante? Meditation is as is law and is not law. Is good to have a time to meditation. It's good, né, Bante? To have frequency, né? Frequency
In practice.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
The more you practice, the more result you will get.
Yes.
The more happiness you will have.
Yes.
So keep up the practice, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Bante.
All right. Go to Penang with Gek Yenso. Penang, Gek.
Hi, Tanajan. Good evening. Good to see Tanajan. Yeah. Listening, Tanajan, listening.
Okay, good.
Mm.
Go to Malaysia again to Alvin. Hi, Alvin.
Tanajan, I got a question regarding the 8 precepts, the eating. Many years ago, I was told that in Malaysia, we stop eating at around about 1 o'clock p.m. because the sun is right on top of the heads between 1 to 1:30. And I was told that you can eat again the next morning when you hear the first, because in Malaysia, we got a lot of mosques here. So the first prayer, the first Muslim prayer, you can start eating again. But I went through the timing. I see that, there is the first Muslim prayer for now. It's at around about 6:18 a.m. Where I cannot see any sunlight. And then dawn at around about 7:03 a.m. And then when the sun actually rises, around about 7:25 a.m. So I'm just wondering which time do monks actually follow?
Well, forest monk, we don't have. Sometimes we don't have clocks to determine what time it is dawn. So we use the sunlight. As soon as we can see the leaves separately, then it's considered the new day, new morning. Or you can stretch your hand, your arms out and look at your palm. And if you can see the lining on your palm, then that's daylight. That's a new day. And you stretch your arm. and look at your hand, look at your palm, and see if you can see the lines on your palm. Then it is considered new day, new morning.
I see. So there's no timing. Don't look at. Yeah, just
because the clock, because the sun travels, changes every day, and the time the sun rises changes every day. See? The sun rises later during the cold season, the winter season, and it rises quicker during the hot season, the summer season.
Yeah.
So we don't rely on the clock. Or when we go on Bintabat, we look at the sunlight instead.
Okay. So you only go on Pindapat when the sun rises. Right?
Yes, it has to be new day, or else if it's still not new day, we cannot collect the food because we cannot keep the food overnight. See?
Okay. Even not eating it if you're not allowed to collect the food. Right?
Pardon me?
Even you're not allowed to collect, even though you're not eating the food, not consuming the food.
If you're not eating, why go collect the food then?
Right. Okay, collect and then keep for a while, then eat when the sun rises. You can't do that, right?
No, you cannot do that. It has to be the same day. The food you collect has to be the food you collect on that day. And once you finish eating, then you no longer keep that food because the Buddha doesn't want you to store food. You have to collect new food the next day. Whatever food you have left, you give it, or give it to whoever you want to give.
You can keep the panna that is onion, the panna that is given, right? Those
Yes, if they are allowed to for consuming after lunch, then you can keep them if you like. If you get some beverages, orange drinks or something like that, if you want to keep it for the afternoon, you can keep it. But if it's food that like food that you eat, you cannot keep them after midday.
Thank you. Understood. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'll go to New Delhi with Rajat. Hi, Rajat.
Good evening, Dan and John. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. You have any question?
Well, to continue with that Dhutanga subject, I was wondering, what if a layman, as you said, that a layman can accompany a Dhutanga monk? How experienced does he have to be in his meditation?
Well, you have to determine yourself whether you can go live under such a condition or not.
Right.
And you find the need to do it or not also. If you don't find the need to do it, then you might don't have to go on the Dhutanga. But you feel that if you go on the Dhutanga, it will help your practice, help push your practice further ahead, and then you would like to go.
Not just for sightseeing, I guess.
Oh no, it's not for sightseeing. It's for practice, for meditation practice. To go out, to be alone, and to be surrounded by dangerous surroundings. So it keeps you alert, keeps you equipped with wisdom. You know that your life can be anytime, cut short anytime. So you have to learn to teach your mind to accept that. So this may help you to eventually get rid of your fear of death if you go on a Dhutanga practice.
Yes, it sounds like it would be a very, very good exposure.
Yeah, you can do it on your own if you like. You go camping. It's like going camping. As a layman, you can go camping.
Yes, because here in India, of course, I wouldn't be able to find a Dhutanga Buddhist monk, and I'm not very sure of how a Dhutanga monk would fare over here, although I've heard of Dhutanga monks in America, and they go near communities who have not had any exposure to the practice of Lord Buddha, but then they've always been very generous and supportive. So
yes, usually you need a community of lay people to support you, because you cannot, carry all the food with you. So, and not do cooking, So you have to rely on the charity of other people. So if there's a tradition, then it's easy. But if there's no tradition, then it's difficult. People will not understand what are you doing. They will just look at you as a beggar.
as I've heard of, Buddhist monks going on Pindapata here and being treated as beggars. Yeah, that has happened.
That's right. In some cities, they're even considered illegal to do Mindabata because they prohibit begging on the streets. So monk is like beggar to them.
Yes.
Any other question?
Yes, Tanajan, from last week, when you said that, mindfulness is a protection and that your mind becomes a rock. And I was reading Ajaan Lee's autobiography, and he talks about, he suddenly saw a certain sign which told him there would be some danger in the evening. And he asked all his monks, I think he was also going to Dhutanga, and he was near a village. And he asked all his monks to sit and meditate and, start their sitting early and meditate, more ardently, more intensely. And it turned out that one of them faced some danger. And I think because they were all doing their practice, that, nothing happened to that person. So that was something which I read about. And I sort of connected that after you had said that, mindfulness is the greatest protection, makes your mind like a rock. And
what I meant was that your mind will not be moved by any situation. Your mind can remain firm and not afraid or not being impacted by whatever things that might happen. If you have strong mindfulness.
yes, Tanajan. So one has to be indifferent whether the danger is going to come or not. It's
Yes, you have to have ubekkha, equanimity, to have the real indifference, not the indifference that you try to generate.
right.
It has to be something that you have already established in your mind, ubekkha, by constantly meditating and mindfulness, practice mindfulness and meditation to get your mind to jhana all the time. Then when you come out, your mind will have quite a lot of ubekkha or equanimity, guarding things around you. You are indifferent, but you still deal with people and things around you. But you don't have any emotional feeling toward them, involved in them. You do without any emotion.
Or attachment.
Yeah. You just do according to whatever is right for the situation. And whether you can do it or not, doesn't matter. If you can do it, do it. If you could not do it, then you just couldn't do it. You just accept the fact. but you don't feel sad or anything like that. Okay.
Yes. And
So,
what about, sorry,
go ahead.
what about loving kindness? What about metta bhavana?
That's what I mean. When you deal with people, you use metta, and depends on the situation. If somebody needs help, then you use compassion. If somebody has some successful, find some success in doing something, you congratulate them.
You have mudita rather than jealousy.
That's right. But if somebody gets sick and has to die, and there's nothing you can do to help them, then you just have to let it be. But you won't feel sad about it because you just look at it as part of the karma of the person. That's the consequence of the karma of that person. Sometimes people think that being indifferent is not to bother with anybody or anything. That's not the case with Ubekkha. Ubekkha, you're not involved emotionally, but you're still involved intellectually, rationally, with loving kindness, compassion, or mudita, sympathetic joy. Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
All right. I'll go to Philip from Malaysia.
Ajaan, happy to see you. I don't have any questions tonight, just listening in.
Okay. Go to Dubai, to Palachita. How are you?
Namaskaran, Ajaan. I'm well.
You still teach yoga?
Yes, I still teach yoga, and luckily I try also to keep my Tuesday free so I can attend this.
You have many students?
Well, I teach in 2 studios where quite a few students, and the other, well, mostly I think at this stage I teach only for the body, but I know for sure that it is helpful in calming the mind. It's different than, say, exercises. So I find that very beneficial. I'm grateful that I can have a livelihood doing that, which means, and it's my way of perhaps kind of, not helping, but supporting people. So
Yes, if you teach them to be mindful with what they do, then you are actually teaching them meditation at the same time.
Right.
Teach them not to think, stay focused on what they do, stay in the present. Don't think about the past or the future. Just be here and now with the practice.
True. In that sense, yes, just being with the body, like just pay attention to your foot or your hand. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah. That's mindfulness. Practice mindfulness.
Right. Yes.
Like the Buddha taught in the 4 foundation of mindfulness, we have clear comprehension of what your body is doing. Keep watching your body.
Yes, that is true. And I would say, yes, I have seen that happen in class, which I see the connection more clearer now, that, as you said, because people focus on the body, they come out, they're very distracted. And then slowly as the class finishes, you can see them calm down.
Yeah.
But it is very different as they're calm, but then they go back to their lives, right? So no change happens. But wisdom, as you said, it's like little short bursts of like, okay, you get a calm anxiety medicine and then go back to normal. That's the problem, I think, sometimes.
But you can tell them that whenever they have stress, they can do yoga right away, wherever they are.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. So that's
Okay,
it.
good. But mainly it's for the body, right? For how
Yeah,
for
I
physical.
teach mostly for the body. I mean, I don't think I want to guide them to meditation because I have long way to go, so I don't understand that deep. But body-wise, I definitely yes,
To
guide.
to manage the pain in the muscles and things like that.
Yes, exactly. And sometimes it really helps. Like I've seen some older people and they move and their pain goes away. So it's very nice that way. So
Right.
just,
You have any question tonight?
I had a very I don't know, kind of an interesting old question. I love all animals and I have no fear as such. But since childhood, I've always been a little afraid of birds for some reason. So it's like, I don't mind birds being there, but if one flew into the house, I would run out of the house, right? So it's so weird. And yet, when I see them, I'm happy and everything. But it's such like a little, like an uncontrollable response. So I was thinking, is there any way I can work through it through meditation?
Yes, whenever you have fear, you can start reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto.
Okay, okay.
That is you then temporarily stop the fear. And if you want to get rid of your fear completely, then you just have to use wisdom, which means that you have to, maybe if anything's going to happen to you because of the bird, then you just have to accept it, that the body is impermanent. It can die anywhere, anytime, by anything. And should you have to die by the bird, okay, let it be. If you can accept this, then you can get rid of your fear permanently.
Okay. So mentally, I could almost sit with like when we do body contemplation, like just go into the feeling. Okay, obviously I can't sit with a bird yet, but that it's there and what comes up, like just explore that.
Well, if you have any fear or uncomfortable feeling, then you should use mindfulness to calm your mind first by reciting Bhutto, Bhutto.
Okay.
Or if you want to meditate, close your eyes and just watch your breathing or recite the mantra. Then the image of the thing that caused you to have fear will disappear from your mind. Then your fear will disappear temporarily.
Okay.
But when you open your eyes and see the object that caused fear, then your fear might still arise.
Yeah.
But if you want to get rid of this fear, then you have to use wisdom. And the wisdom is that you're afraid because you might be hurt by the object. But you have to accept that the body is subjected to injury and to death. Know that one sooner or later, one day the body will die or will be subjected to some type of injury. So if you can accept this truth, then you will then stop being afraid.
Okay.
Look at your body as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca and anatta. Dukkha is because you don't want it to happen. You want the body to be safe, protected. But no matter how well you protect the body, one day it's gonna get sick and die, or get injury and die. This is to use wisdom, the truth, that the real nature of this body. This body is subjected to aging, sickness or injury, and death. And if you can accept this truth, then you will not have any fear, have any stress or dukkha. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. That's one of the reasons why monks go to Thanga in the forest, because they'll be exposed to all types of danger. So they have to keep the mind calm. They have to apply the wisdom, the three characteristics, the nature of the body. And this body is impermanent, is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. So it can happen anywhere, anytime. If you don't want to have any stress or fear, then you have to accept the truth. And when the mind fully accepts the truth, then the fear will disappear. Okay. All right, go to next person in Singapore, Belinda. Hi, Belinda. Did you find your practice at Wat Yan help you when you're back in Singapore? Or everything is the same?
Good evening, Tanajan. When I was at Wat Yan, after talking to you and I got back to my room, I find it's immediate help, mindfulness, because it's a very short stay. And when I come back, I still manage to maintain metta, and now I feel weak again.
Maybe it's time to come back again.
Yes.
to recharge your battery, That's why people go to monastery or temple, to recharge your mental battery.
Ajahn, I have one question about the duration of the stay. It said that minimum stay is 3 days, maximum will be 14 days. Are there any requirements that we can extend more than 14 days, Ajahn?
Actually, for people, for normal people, for Thai people, they're only allowed to stay for 7 days. So, but for foreigners, we give them special treatment, so they get an extra 7 more days, so they can stay for 14 days. Usually, some Thais who wants to stay for 7 days, and if they want to stay longer, they have to go out 1 day and come back, and then they can stay for another 7 days. So unfortunately, this is the rule, because we have quite a lot of people coming to stay, and if you allow people to stay as long as they like, then there won't be enough room for other people to come and stay. So you have to look for some other temple or monastery that allow you to stay with unlimited length of time. Okay.
So if it's 14 days and if we can leave and
For
come
1
back
day,
again,
maybe
have 14.
come back. Maybe you have to talk to the management people about this, if they will accept you or not. Maybe they will say yes, depending on whether they have the room available or not.
Yes, indeed, the non-stop, many people come by in and out. Very.
Especially during the Buddhist holidays, special holidays like Magha Bucha Day. There'll be more people coming. They usually book ahead of time already. So if you want to come during the holidays, it might not be easy for you to get a place.
So any also Songkran is also not a good day, Ajahn? Songkran
So
will be around April.
Thai holiday in April 13, 14, and 15. I think this year they had another day, maybe 4 days holiday or something.
Are there a preferable month that is not so peak? Maybe March or during the Vasa?
Any other time that has no holiday, no public holiday, so you can consult with the management. Just think of the day you want to stay and ask them whether you can book ahead of time, see, so you can check with them ahead of time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll go to Ryan.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay, Ryan also from Singapore.
Good evening, Thanajan. I got
Hi.
a question on that earlier we were talking about Dhutanga, right? So, is it really possible for monks to be on permanent Dhutanga? Because I understand that during Vasa they are supposed to be situated in a monastery.
They can stay in the forest, but they have to stay put in one place for 3 months during the Vatsa. They cannot move around.
Oh, I see. So the forest is counted as the place that they can stay.
Yeah, they can stay anywhere, but once they stay during Pansa, they have to stay in that place for 3 months.
I see. Okay, understood. And my other question is, so when we know of somebody who is hospitalized and they might be facing a life and death situation, are there things that we can do that might actually help to improve their medical condition?
You have to be a doctor to know these things.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Okay. So if you don't know anything, then you just have to remain calm and just, not feeling sad about it. You just have to use equanimity if you cannot do anything for that person.
Mm-hmm. I've heard about like sharing metta, and also sometimes people do that. They release fish and birds, things like that. So would these things help also?
No, it's just popular belief, that's all.
Understood, Ajahn. That's
Okay.
why I wanted to ask for today.
All right. Go to Intan. Intan, you're from Malaysia, but you're from Indonesia, but you're staying at Wat Yan right now, right?
Yeah, good evening, Ajahn.
How are you? Okay. You're fasting today, huh? You're fasting today.
Yes, I want to continue last question.
Okay.
I understand when Ajahn explained to me, nobody die when meditate. And I also understand if now I die, I can accept. But when my breath is soft, I always react. Push my breath to stronger and stronger. Why I cannot control it? Or maybe I have a bad memory. When I meditate, I lost my breath.
I don't know what's the cause of your reaction. Maybe it's your embedded habit to react to a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to tell yourself that you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to do anything. Just stay knowing. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep watching the same place where the breath was before, at the tip of your nose, and just watch there, and don't worry about anything else.
Okay, I try.
And if you think that if you're gonna die, let it be, because you're gonna die one day anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can accept that maybe you're gonna die, okay, and you're willing to die, then your mind will be calm and peaceful and not afraid.
Okay, Ajahn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No.
When are you leaving? Friday or Thursday?
29.
29. I think that's
The
Thursday.
day after tomorrow.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have more questions, you can ask me in the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Prajan.
You're welcome. Go to Kafai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Tanajan. I'm just listening. Thank you.
Okay. Go to B. Ravin from Bangkok.
Good evening, Prajan. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I will be coming to Pattaya this next weekend, so I look forward to seeing you at your kuti, probably on Sunday.
Okay. No question tonight?
I have one question. It's regarding, death. So is my understanding correct that the reason that monks do Thanga is to kind of put their mind to the test, that if they are faced with a dangerous situation, they can ignore what will happen to the body and keep their mind at peace?
Well, that's one of the reasons that monks go. They know that if they're still afraid, then they know this is still a problem for them to solve. See? And to stay in a safe place will not solve this problem. You need to be in a dangerous surrounding in which you might be afraid of death, and then you would have to apply mindfulness or wisdom to get rid of this fear.
So the root cause of fear is because we think our body and our mind are the same part, same entity, right? That's why we are scared.
That's one thing, and also our mind doesn't want to accept the death of the body because the mind is still dependent on the body for pleasure, for happiness.
Oh, okay. So kind of reluctant to give up the body. They want to enjoy what the body can offer.
And maybe also deep inside, the mind think that it is the body, and that if the body die, then the mind will die with the body.
Oh, okay. So we need to meditate and use wisdom to teach the mind that our body is just made from the four elements, and it'll eventually disintegrate back to where it came from.
That's right. And the mind is just a knowing element. And this knowing element takes command of the body, tells the body what to do. But this mind or this knowing element doesn't die with the body. So there is no need to be afraid that the mind will die with the body, because the mind and the body are two separate entities. They're like twins, and they're like conjoined twins, Siamese twins, you know.
Yes. So that's why we have rebirth, because our mind cannot get rid of the kilesa, right? So we have to come back and.
Yeah, because we still need a new body, so that we can then have the ability to go after sensual pleasure, sensual objects.
So only if we can get rid of these earthly pleasures, then we become enlightened.
Yeah.
So it seems like the body is the biggest problem, Prajan. It's like a distraction for the mind.
At the beginning level, is the body is the first object of of investigation, but then there is also feelings, and then also the mental states, which still have to be resolved.
I see. So start with the body and then try and not be affected by pain and fear of death, right? Is that what you should try to do?
Then after you have got rid of these two problems, then you have to get rid of your sexual cravings also.
Oh.
That's when you have to investigate the asubha nature of the body.
The unattractive side of the body.
Yeah, the unpleasant side. Look at the body when it dies. It's still attractive or not when the body becomes a corpse. Would you keep your girlfriend at home when she dies, or you say you can give her up very quickly?
I was about to say one of your quotes, Ajaan, that if like people we love when they die, we just want to give them up straight away.
But when they're alive, you want to cling to them, right? You want to keep them forever. But as soon as they stop breathing, you stop.
Those impermanent nature of
Yeah, you keep forgetting this. That's why you have to contemplate all the time. The body is temporary. It will get old, get sick, and die.
Yes, Ajaan. It's always good to reflect. When I discuss with you, you serve as a good reminder not to forget the core concepts of what we need to strive out to achieve. So thank you for that, Ajaan.
Okay. Is that all?
For now, yes. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Ajaan.
Go to Dr. Pial and Indira from Toronto.
Morning, Ajaan.
Good morning from Toronto. Ajaan, how are you?
Good, thank you. And you?
We are good too.
We are good.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit more peaceful sometimes. So,
Getting back to our daughter left on the 15th, so we are back to our
routines,
spiritual routine.
Is the weather better now? Also,
weather is getting better, like nicer. I was still. It was Saturday was -13, but I was still working in the garden, Dhutanga practice, because I have a craving towards the garden.
He uses Dhamma. For his, I always say, don't do that. tricking the system for gardening. But anyways, yes, Ajaan, happy because it was after a long time that our daughter visited, because during COVID, and then we went and saw her. So lifestyle changes, but now we are back to everything the way it was, and it's so much, it's very peaceful, and more meditation. So yes.
Any question tonight?
Yes.
Today? Yes. I was thinking of the mindfulness practice. Now we know it's kind of helps to establish jhana and insight eventually. But how about a person who has so much practice or advanced in practice? Mindfulness still helps for day-to-day activity life. Dealing with people, conflicts, dealing with patients at work. The mindfulness is a clarity. It brings, I guess, upekkha helps. But even if you don't have upekkha, it helps with the clarity of the mind to make decisions, come up with nice garden projects.
Yes, we have two types of mindfulness. Worldly mindfulness, in which we concentrate on what we do, but we still keep thinking about what about things, But why the spiritual mindfulness is about focus on what you do and not thinking about any other thing. So the goal of spiritual mindfulness is to keep the mind or prevent the mind from thinking. but just keep focused on what you do only, or on a mantra.
Yes. So the person who can achieve jhanas, I guess with very little effort, and at will. But in other words, however, the worldly senses, pleasures from worldly five senses, you need to work harder, right? You need to say, for example, if you want to enjoy your food, you have to go groceries, bring them, cook them, enjoy, but it doesn't last. Like a few seconds is gone. But this perhaps it's more cost effective to put the time and effort for the meditation, mindfulness pleasures out of the jhanas.
That's right. It's more peaceful and happy from jhana than anything else. The Buddha said no other types of happiness can excel the happiness from peace of jhana.
So when you talk about Nibbanam Paramang Sukhang, I guess I think it's beyond jhana, but still it is a state of mind without, I mean the first jhana.
It is jhana, but it's a permanent jhana.
Permanent jhana.
That's temporary.
Yeah, this Sabbha Sankhara Samuddha, all thoughts are permanently stopped, but in jhanas it's a temporary cessation of vitakka vichara, like at least in the second jhana. I guess like thinking, pondering stops, settles. Yeah, the other thing is
even nibbana, you can still have thoughts, but you don't have craving, you don't have defilement. It's a defilement that causes your mind to be restless and agitated. Not your sankhara. You can think in a peaceful way.
Yeah. So your chitta is watching peacefully, like your mind just still. The chitta is still having.
It can still think and can still perceive, but it doesn't have this agitation that arises from defilements, from craving or from hate or fear.
So the restlessness that is a kind of the last, like a fetter, one of the last fetters to go is gone at that time. The mind is not restless, it's calm.
It's calm. It still works, it still thinks, and it still perceives. The five khandha is still working, but not in the same way as before. It was working with agitation and restlessness and emotion. But with a nibbana mind, it doesn't have this emotion, any restlessness or agitation, or stress, or anxiety, or worry, anything like that.
Because you're ready to let go of the body. Actually, in a way, the body becomes a hindrance. You're waiting to, I mean, obviously, if you have to, you can just let go. Like, because carrying a body is it's a kind of a burden for that person.
Yeah, for an enlightened person, it's only a burden to look after the body. But there's no emotional burden. He's not, he's not worried about what's going to happen to the body or anything like that.
So there are no second arrows. Only the first arrow, I guess, is still there. You feel the pain, you feel discomfort. But there's no mental discomfort or no mental pain.
No mental pain, but there's still physical pain. So sometimes you have to relieve the physical pain. Like if you're hungry, you have to eat. If you're thirsty, you have to drink. If you're tired, you have to lay down. Like the Buddha, when he walked from one town to the next, halfway through, he got tired and he asked Ananda, please place a cloth for me to take a rest. It's just his body that's tired, but not his mind.
Just one last thing. I think was asked about the body as one of the participants said, body is like a big kind of hindrance, and that's one of the first contemplation or investigations. It's for foundations which start with, which is most obvious to us, the body or the breath. Now, the dissolution of the body is talk about, as I think the Pali term is Shayanupasana, just breaking away into parts. You can visualize it. I think the Buddha gave an example of foam. The body is like a soap bubble. There's lots of bubbles put together, but this looks like a big ball of foam. But when you examine closely, there's nothing in it. Like everything is empty. So it's a kind of practice. Could you do it on the 4 elements, starting with the body, right? It's made out of 4 elements. In there's nothing inside.
Well, when the body is formed by just the 4 elements of the body of the father and the mother combining, right? Like you have this IVF now, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
You just use 2 drops, 1 drop from the father and 1 drop from the mother, and put in a dish, and then test this too, and then they combine, and then they start to form, they start to divide the cell when they combine together, and then they start to divide, right?
Yeah.
Cell division, right? You study biology.
Yes. So cell destruction is the opposite too. So
they are just cell. They're just cell. There's no cell in the cell, right?
So it's happening all the time that cells coming together. Even now, there is growth as well as destruction, but we don't see the destruction as such because it's a slow process.
That's
but it's
right.
in between, there's nothing like empty because it's a process.
Aging is a sign of dissolution. Say, when you get older, you look different. You get older.
Yeah, you have to only see photographs. Only you go through album, then you see.
Yeah. But it's all working of it's just the working of the 4 elements of the cell molecules. The body is just composed of cells and molecules, right?
That's right.
There's no cell in this cells or molecule.
Yeah.
But
it's
the mind that connect to the body. Takes, consider the body to be a self. That's all. To be a self. Because the mind consider the knowing element as the self.
Yeah. So you leave it alone, the body does whatever it wants, but we are thinking of body is doing what we want, but body just is independent of the mind.
You cannot control your body. You can control partially. You can tell it to walk, to stand, to sit and eat, but you cannot stop it from getting old, getting sick, or dying.
But you can use the body to develop your mind when you can, because if you like when you are sick, when things happen, it's harder, but it's
better if you have done it before. I think recently we had a friend whose sister died of cancer, but she's one of the I think the sister-in-law said that wish she had practiced meditation before, but she got into meditation after when she was sick. So it's hard to practice.
Yeah, because she was very generous, very
dana, sila
was like very
powerful.
Good, powerful. But so
bhavana part she didn't get into, but she got into it after she was sick. Like some people do, I guess, after they fall sick or cancer or whatever, they get into meditation. But it's kind of hard, right? When your body is aching, hurting.
That's right. That's why you should start doing it before you get old. See.
Yes. Yes.
But your defilement keep telling you wait. You're still young.
There's time.
There's still plenty of time.
Yes.
So right now you want to enjoy life first.
Yeah. Then your needs start aching.
Then suddenly you go to see a doctor and you say you got terminal cancer. Then you say, oh, now it's time to go to do it. But by that time it's almost too late already.
Too late.
That's true.
That's a good lesson. Yes.
That's why the Buddha said you should constantly reflect on death every day to remind you that death can come any time. So then you don't procrastinate. And he said, maybe I should start doing meditation now before it's too late.
Appamada, diligence.
Yes.
Yeah. But we tend to forget death. We think we're going to live forever, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But death can come at any time, anyway.
Exactly.
Although it's in our mind, it's hard to get into the heart, right? As a reality.
Because the heart that is being blocked by delusion. the delusion to think that it's going to live forever, which it does. The mind, the knowing element, the mind lives forever. So maybe this is the problem. You think it lives forever, so you think the body also will live forever with it. But the body is temporary. That's why the Buddha teaches us to constantly reflect on aging, sickness, and death every day.
Yeah, mind never ages. That I realized with my mother. She's 92. She'll be 93 in July, but she thinks she's still, like, she loves still. Yeah, so mine, I realized, like, living with her and doing everything, taking care of her.
My memory is lost in like the recent memory, but somewhat. But the previous, when she was young, how she do things, playful stuff. She thinks she's in that age.
Yeah, you are what you think as far as the mind is concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, like, she's from very young age, apparently she's been very close to Dhamma. So she chants like non-stop. She's chanting and she meditates in her own way.
So she doesn't looks miserable, although she lives alone, like very quiet. But she's always happy when you give the books chanting. Maybe there's some kind of chanting helps her to get through this.
Yes, chanting is a form of meditation.
Yes, I think so.
It can calm your mind, stop your mind from being restless or agitated, but not to the point of jhana. That's all. Maybe maybe in the first jhana, when you have vitaka, vichara, chanting is vitaka, vichara.
It's good point.
And then you could feel piti, you can feel rapture from chanting.
Yeah, because when I go downstairs to check her, she opens the, looks at me and smiles. She's happy. So there must be some kind of content, through that.
Every religion have this type of practice. In Christianity, you sing, in Islam, you do some chanting also.
That's true. That's true.
So keep the mind peaceful. Yeah. But we have to go a bit beyond that, I guess, if you can.
Yeah, you have to go deeper if you want to.
Yeah.
To experience more happiness, you have to go deeper. You have to still the mind.
Thank you. We took a lot of your time.
Thank you so much.
It's okay. I think it's okay. Everybody enjoys your comment.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we'll go to Bangkok, to Titima.
การนมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์ Don't have any question ค่ะ
Okay, we'll go to Vancouver now with Sri and check. Sri, have you finished your memorizing the Four Foundation yet? Not yet.
Up to feelings.
Feeling? Oh, you finished with the body? Huh?
Yes. And
can you remember? Can you recite without reading it?
Can, but sometimes cannot. Sometimes feel like the mind goes away.
You cannot force it to recite the whole part of the body.
Almost, yeah. Sometimes I can, but sometimes it just maybe the mind is like doesn't want it or too tired. I don't know. But if I take one chunk and recite it, it's okay. But it's from the beginning up to the end, like the 9, channel ground.
Yes. Do you find this helpful for your mindfulness? Do you find your mind become more peaceful?
I find it helpful is like during the daily activities. Sometimes it will come up to remember about my flexing or extending my limbs or moving or walking.
So it's like a reminder for you to be more mindful.
Yeah, it becomes kind of like reminder.
Because you should do it every day.
Yes, I'm doing it every day. Yeah, but then it's kind of like maybe become unconscious. It will be good so that I can always be mindful if I remember.
Well, if you chant it, you're practicing mindfulness by chanting.
Yeah, and also serve as a reminder for me.
Yeah, It also gives you wisdom also, the nature of the body. That is gonna become a corpse, different stages of corpse.
Yes, yes. Ajaan, like when we have laughs, like I can think of like foulness, right? That you use the foulness of body. Under what circumstance that we think of like elements?
It's just another aspect of the body that you have to study. The body have many different aspects. When you study on the element, it means that you're seeing that there's no self in the body. But when you combine the bodies together with the four elements, with becoming the 32 parts, you start to see a sui or check in that body. But when you break it down to four elements, then where is sui, where is check? All you see is just the four elements, right?
Yes.
Well, breaking down the four elements is like starting at the time of death. What happens when you die? What goes first? What goes first? The wind element, right? No air coming in. You're not breathing anymore. You're not taking any wind element. So the wind start to evaporate from your body. Then comes the heat element, the fire element. The fire element will disappear from your body. Your body becomes cold. A dead person's body is colder than a living body because of there's no fire element remain in the body anymore. And if you leave it still further, then all the fluid will start to separate from the solid part of the body. Eventually, the body will become just what do you call dry. All the parts of it, the skin will be dry. Every part of the body will just be dry, and eventually it will then decay and becomes dust or dirt. So where's you? Where's Sui? Where's check in this body? There's no you, me in the body. You, me is in the mind. The mind is the one that claims the body to be itself. That's all. So you see, when you break down the body into the four elements, then you find there's no self in the body. All you see is just the four elements, or the 32 parts. If you dissect up the body and separate all the parts, where do you find yourself? Where are you in this body? Which part of the body is you? Your hair, your skin, your teeth, your nail. They are just body parts, but no you, no self in the body. So this will dispel your delusion, because you see with the truth, with the fact. But if you don't separate them, then you keep thinking, this is me, right? Every time you look at the mirror, you're looking at myself. I'm looking at myself. But if you study the different parts, you study the breaking up of the four elements, and then next time when you see yourself in the mirror, you say, this is not me, this is just the four elements. What I'm seeing is just the skin wrapping over my skull.
Yeah.
So you have a different perception of the body. Right now, your perception of the body is faulty, not correct, not according to the truth. So you want to study the truth of the body. Then you see that all there is in the body is just the 32 parts, which is made up from the four elements. And one day this four element will then break up, and then the 32 parts will disappear. So where are you? Where's we? Where's check in this body? So when you see this, then you have to tell yourself every time you look in the mirror, this body is not me. This body is just the 32 part, or just the 4 elements. I am just the thinker. I think I am, therefore I am. I think I am sweet, therefore I'm sweet, right? If you change your name, then you think differently. I'm not sweet anymore. I'm Charles. I'm Charles. So it's just your mind creating this delusion, and you don't know that this delusion is not the truth.
Yeah, it's so hard to break this delusion.
Yeah, you need both the study and also the meditation. When your mind becomes calm, you stop thinking, then the sweet and check disappear from your mind. All that's left is just a knowing. So you have to see this in meditation. Hey, where am I? When you stop thinking, you cannot think, where am I anymore? There's no I, there's no where. There's just knowing.
Yeah.
Then when you see this, okay, you see that the mind creates a self. So when you come back from meditation, come out of meditation, and your mind start to think of a self again, and you have to use wisdom to say, there's no self, you're just fooling yourself. You're just creating this self with, when there's, in reality, there's no self in the mind or in the body. There's only self because the thinking creates the self. See? When you stop thinking, then the self disappears. So you need to do both meditation, samatha bhavana, and vipassana bhavana, investigation or contemplation or wisdom. But you don't do it. You keep spending all your time worrying about making money, so you don't have time to study your own body. So you keep assuming that the body is you are the body. Because you don't give it time to study, you don't give it time to practice meditation, you don't give time to separate the mind from the body, and the self from the thinking.
So, Ajahn, like for the enlightened being, like they have to achieve like the 4th jhana many times, like on and off, come back and study the body, go back.
Yes, back and forth, back and forth.
It's not like just one time, 4th
No.
jhana.
Until you can understand and see clearly and let go of your attachment of the body, of the mind also, of the body, of feeling, and of the mind. Then you become fully enlightened. But you do it by stages. First, you get rid of your attachment to the body and the feeling. Then after that, you go and get rid of the attachment to the mind. Okay, so keep reciting the 4 foundation of mindfulness. Maybe one day you'll get all of them, all 4.
Now it's one foundation.
Okay. Anything else? You have any questions? Check.
Yes, I have a question. Last week, I think Will asked you about like the parita chanting, and you talk about like you think the Buddha is asks us to protect ourselves by wisdom rather than the more about wisdom. But in the talk, you also you said that because the danger that affects our mind is much worse than the danger that affects our body. Why do you say that? Like, can you elaborate, Ajahn?
Because the mental pain is much more severe than the physical pain.
It's more severe, Ajahn?
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't know that. You don't know that the mental pain, the suffering, the fear, the worry, anxiety, the stress. This is more painful than the pain of your body.
But sometimes like the pain of the body when we are sick is also like very severe, but it's also it's because of the
You assume it's severe because it's severe because of your mental pain, not your physical pain. Because if you can separate the two from each other and you can stop the mental pain, then you see that what is left is just very minimal. The physical pain is very minimal. 10% of the pain is physical and 90% of the pain is mental. But you cannot see this without the practice. You have to get real painful in the body, and then somehow you can use mindfulness to stop to get the mind into jhana. Then the mental pain will disappear when you're in jhana. And all that is left is just the physical pain. And you can see the difference between the two, the physical and the mental pain.
I had like food poisoning last night and I was in a lot of pain. But
most of it is mental pain. You worry, anxiety,
But I did recite Buddha, and I did see that like it
diminishes your pain.
Yeah, it's like it's become minimal. Like even though after I recite for a while, it became like, oh, it's not like it's not that.
Not that painful.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I think I'm just lying, like I'm just
Yeah, so you're not reducing the physical pain, you're reducing the mental pain by chanting, by reciting Buddha.
So it's really the mental,
That's
like
right. The mental pain created by your desire for the physical pain to disappear, or for your body to remain well, to be well, and not dying.
Yeah.
But if you can stop this desire or this craving, then the mental pain will disappear.
Yeah.
And you find that the physical pain is not that severe at all.
So that's why you say that the mental pain is much worse than that affect us is much worse than.
That's right. The Buddha and the noble disciple, they're not afraid of the pain of the body because they have got rid of the 90% of the mental pain already. They got rid of all the mental pain.
Yeah.
So what is left is just the 10% of which belongs to the physical pain. So they can live with the physical pain easily. While us, we have 100% pain, 10 from the body, 90 from the mind.
100%.
More than 100%.
So we have 100%. See, the Buddha and noble disciple only have 10% of the pain. So they don't need to take painkillers or anything like that.
Yeah. They don't need painkillers. But yeah, I see a little bit that the real painkiller is the
it becomes a problem later on. First, it's trying to be a solution, taking the painkillers, and eventually it starts to become a problem because you become addicted to it. You need it.
Yeah.
And when you don't have it, then you get more mental pain from it. That's why it's not good to take any painkiller if you can avoid, because you can become attached and addicted to it.
Yeah.
And you have to take more and more, right?
Yeah, I think you need more over time. the real
when you,
pain, sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I said the real painkiller is like calming the mind.
Yeah, Dhamma, mindfulness or wisdom. Wisdom is to accept the pain and leave it alone. Let it be. Let it come and go by itself. Don't have to do anything. If you cannot do anything, then just let it be, let it come and go. If you can accept, then there will be no mental pain. Mental pain arises because you don't want to accept the physical pain. You want it to go away. Your wanting is cravings, is desire, which has caused the mental pain to become more, to increase.
Yeah.
So you have to stop your mental pain by stopping your craving or your desire for the physical pain to disappear. And just accept the physical pain and let it be. If you're in a situation where there's nothing you can do, if you cannot have any medicine, what are you going to do? You just have to learn to accept it.
Yeah.
If you can accept it, then you can stop the 90% of the mental pain, which is 90%. And all you have left is just the physical pain, which is 10%. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Who else? Nobody else, I see. I don't see anybody. Usually Sulan should come in by now. Are you there somewhere, Sulan? Oh, I'll go to question from Facebook and YouTube first, okay? Could you any question tonight?
Namaskaran. We have altogether 15 questions at the moment. There's 8 questions from the assistant Gmail and the rest are from Facebook. The first question is from Grace from California. Question 1. I was interested to read your autobiography that when you ordained, you realized that the teacher could help you in progress in ways that you could not progress alone. Could you please share how a teacher helped you in ways you could not progress alone?
It's like learning to cook. When you learn to cook from a cookbook and you learn it from a master chef, there's a difference, right? So you need somebody with experience to teach you. Everything that you want to learn, you need somebody to guide you, not just the book itself. That's why you go to school. You have textbooks, but you also have teachers to teach you, to explain to you what the text means. Okay, go ahead.
The next 2 questions are anonymous. Question 2, for women practitioners who want to practice more deeply and not work, is it better to own a small, quiet home and practice at home? Or is it better to go to try to live in a monastery and put full trust in the Dhamma to protect you? It seems like owning a house might bring about more conceit and less trust in the Dhamma for protection.
That's right. Most of the enlightened ones are homeless. They don't have a home. They live in a monastery or temples or in the wild.
The next question, are you aware of situations where the Dhamma cured a physical illness?
Well, sometimes when you have fever and when you meditate and then you meditate and your body becomes so hot, you start sweating. After you finish with your meditation, the fever seems to subside or disappear.
The next 3 questions are from Sam from Australia. Question 4, when 5 khandhas stop working during meditation and only knowing left in the mind, does it mean that knowing element is part of vijnana consciousness as the consciousness is still working?
No, the knowing element is just another feature of the mind, of the knowing element. So the nama khandhas, the Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, this is also features of the mind, the knowing element. So there are actually 5 features in the mind. Four are the Namakanda, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. And there's this another feature, which is the knowing. This knowing never stop, never disappear. It's constantly there. While the other four, they can come and go, they rise and cease. Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. So when you meditate, you stop the four Namakandas, but you cannot stop the knowing feature. The knowing feature is always there, all the time.
Question 5. I need to train the mind and watch over the mind to be mindful. Who is the I who is doing the watching over the mind and keep the mind thinking?
There is no I. It's just mindfulness. It's just a knowing, being directed by mindfulness to keep watching, to keep knowing at a particular object.
Question 6. I try to get my parents to learn more about the Buddha's teaching, but they don't seem to practice it diligently. As a son, I try to do my best to repay my parents, and I heard that the best gift to parents is to teach them the Dhamma. I try not to get upset when I see them not practicing. Please advise what is the best way for me as a son to show my parents the Dhamma.
Well, you can tell them what to do, but you cannot force them to do what you tell them. Someone asked the Buddha that you have many disciples. How come some of them get to Nibbana and some don't get to Nibbana? The Buddha said, I don't know. I'm just a teacher. I just tell them what to do. It's up to them what to do it or not. It's up to them. I cannot force them to do it.
The next two questions are from Samanji. Despite the complexities of our technologically advanced world, many individuals exhibit a strong desire to attain a sotapanna status within this lifetime. They earnestly cultivate sila, samadhi, and panya to the best of their abilities. However, a significant number seem to falter or abandon their efforts halfway through. Could you provide insights on how one can effectively face this challenge and carry on the path towards sotapanna?
On the path, you have to have patience. You have to have diligent exertion. You have to keep pushing yourself. And you have to be enduring through any difficulty or hardship. If you can have this quality, then you will eventually become enlightened. So you have to keep pushing your practice, never give up. And through whether it's easy or difficult, you keep doing it. You have to be patient, you have to be enduring. And then you also have to, develop mindfulness and wisdom. If you can have this quality, which we call the five faculties, you have to have faith in the Buddha's teaching. You have to have diligence or exertion. You have to have mindfulness. You have to have samadhi or jhana. And you have to have wisdom. Then if you can have this, you will be able to one day become enlightened.
The next question. This is further to my question last week regarding being born as a woman. There are certain monks who frequently emphasize the importance of being born as a man, thus demeaning female birth. They argue that being born female is inferior to being male. However, is it appropriate for a monk to emphasize one's gender when it poses no barrier to entering the noble path?
Well, I wouldn't emphasize on sex or anything like that, or gender, because what's important is not whether you are a man or a woman. To become enlightened, what's important is your ability to follow the Noble Eightfold Path or not. That's the what you call the thing that will make you become enlightened. Is your ability to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. If you can do this regardless of who you are, whether you're a man or woman, a monk or not a monk, young or old, you will be able to become enlightened if you can follow the Noble Eightfold Path completely.
The next three questions are from Tanik. Question 1, I can notice my breath for only 3 to 5 seconds before being distracted. What more can I do or should I do?
You should do more mindfulness before you practice. You should do it all the time by reciting a mantra as soon as you get up, and keep reciting all day long until you go to sleep. If you can do this, then you will have a lot more mindfulness. And when you meditate, you will have more focus, more concentration on your meditation object.
The next question from Tanik, is it good to release animals? Would it encourage others to catch them?
Well, you have to be smart when you release the animal. You make sure that it's not easy for other people to catch them. You have to release them in the wild, somewhere away from people. You don't release them in front of people.
And the last question from Tanik is, does jhana depend on karma or effort? Is it some people can never get into jhana?
On mindfulness and effort to develop mindfulness.
The next question is from Terry Shi. Dear Ajaan, when I think of ordination, I feel happy, but when I look at my mother, I feel sad because one part of my heart says, you are trying to abandon your mother, but I am not. Is this kilesa trying to prevent me from going forth?
It depends on whether you can leave your mother or not. If you can leave her and she can take care of herself, then, and if you don't want to leave, then this is your defilement. But if you cannot, if she cannot take care of herself, and you feel that you cannot leave her, then this is not defilement, because it's fact. She needs somebody to look after her. If you leave her, then who's going to look after her? Or you can take her with you. You become ordained and take her to live in the monastery with you and look after her that way. The Buddha allowed a monk to go on Bindabat and share the food with his parents.
The next question is from Sochi Chim. Bante, I can recall past feeling the same. How to know the future feeling?
It's not the future or the past feeling you have to worry about. It's the present feeling that you have to worry about. Whether it's painful or pleasant. See? And what you want to do is to treat them equally the same, accepting them, not having discrimination toward them, like them and dislike them. You have to accepting them, whether they're a painful feeling or a pleasant feeling. You have to take them equally, not despising them or not loving them. This is the way to treat feeling. Just treat them with equanimity, just calm and just accepting.
The next question is from C. Ratnan. Dear Ajahn, many times I get a clue about my future life, and the clue always done, never fail. Can I change it? Just in case the clue is not good, can I change it by doing many good deeds?
Well, you're not looking at the proper clues. See? The proper clue is that you're going to get old, get sick, and die. And you cannot change this, no matter what you do. So what the clues that you see is not the true clues that you should have. You should have the true clues, which is that your body will get old, get sick, and die. This is what the Buddha teaches us, to constantly looking at this clue. So then we can prepare ourselves to accept the situation when it happens. Then we will have no dukkha when it happens.
The next two questions are from Ingrid Tang. Wandami Ajahn, how to build mindfulness when we are asleep or when we are sleepy?
You don't do that. When you sleep, you don't have mindfulness. You only do mindfulness when you are awake.
And the next question is how to see and feel our breath when we get a flu.
Well, if you cannot see or feel, then you do something else. You can use the mantra Bhutto Bhusto and say it.
The next question is from Pauline Soon. Ajahn, can I make investigation as to why I'm bored to continue meditate?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Yes. Yes. Can I make investigation why I am bored to continuous to meditate or to
Bored?
continue to meditate? Yes, bored to meditate. Can I investigate the reason why?
Well, if you can, then it's good. Then you can then solve your problem of boredom.
And the last question is from Tanik is, can I recite Bhutto silently or not?
Usually you should do it silently if it's possible, mentally. You don't have to make any sound. This is a mental exercise, not a physical exercise. Okay, is
That is
all?
all, Ka. Yes.
Okay, I just see Sulan just came in. Always the last, but not least. Hi, Sulan, how are you?
Yeah, hello, Ajahn. Nice to see you.
Okay,
Yeah.
you have anything to say or ask? Any question?
Yeah, don't have questions today. I just wanted to come in and see you.
Okay, we have just about 1 or 2 minutes left, but I see a hand raised from Ryan. Okay, Ryan, you have the last question for tonight.
Thank you, Ajahn. This question popped up earlier. So, in terms of gratitude, I think the Buddha said a person with gratitude is rare to find in this world, but sometimes I feel like when I'm developing gratitude, it does seem to come with a sense of clinging and attachment to the good things that were done for me. So how does one develop gratitude without having that sense of clinging and attachment?
I don't know why do you have to have attachment to what? To your gratitude?
So let's say I'm developing gratitude, right? So the things that come to mind are the good things that the person has done for me. So when I recollect the things that the person has done for me, then there is a sense of self that arises with it, right? So it seems like that gratitude and that clinging is sort of coming together in one package.
I don't think you should use the word clinging there. It's good to have a sense of gratitude to someone who has done something good for you. What's wrong with that?
Or that there seems to be some sense of self.
What do you mean some sense of self?
Because like the person has done something for me personally, right? So there's a self, yeah.
So we're not talking about vipassana here. We're talking about conventional wisdom here. So when we talk about conventional wisdom, there's you, there's me.
Mm-hmm.
You do something good for me, so I remember this. And then whenever I can do something for you, I'll do it for you out of gratitude. See? We're not talking about self or no self in this regard. We're talking about having gratitude or not having gratitude. Some people just don't see people who do something good for them and feel that they owe them something, you know, which means they don't have any gratitude. So don't worry about self or not self or clinging or attachment when you're talking about gratitude. Just have gratitude. Just know who did something good for you, who helped you. Then you should not forget that person. And in case whenever you can show your gratitude, then you should do it. There's nothing wrong with that. What are you afraid of?
I was just wondering because I felt that gratitude is a very good and wholesome quality, but somehow it's not included in, for example, the Brahma Viharas, like gratitude is not there. So I was wondering, oh, why is gratitude not there? Is it because there seems to be a self there? So maybe I'm wrong in this aspect then in that case.
No, we're not talking about self or no self. We're just talking about having gratitude and not having gratitude.
Okay.
Okay, having gratitude is good. It's a good quality.
Okay.
It's like having a nice haircut, like having a nice haircut. A nice haircut and not a nice haircut, which is better, A nice haircut will be better, right? When you
So okay, I'll try to have a better haircut.
That's right. It's a quality of yourself, When people look at you, they say, "Oh, this guy is good. He has gratitude. He's grateful." And you compare with someone else who have no gratitude, and oh, this guy is not so good. If you want to help somebody, which one would you help? Someone with gratitude or someone without gratitude?
With gratitude.
That's right. Okay. It's just a quality that we should cultivate. That's all the Buddha said.
Thank you, Tanajan.
All right. Okay, I think that's about it for tonight. I think the time is up. Tonight seems to pass by very quickly. Maybe we have so much to talk about tonight. I hope you enjoy your meeting tonight and hope it's beneficial for you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you, Thanajan.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, Thanajan.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you.
Thanajan.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, admin team.
ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ
ทุกคนด้วยครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ